There are quite a few air vehicles available in Disney Infinity 3.0 and they can all be attached to paths. This can make for some cool looking set pieces, action-filled scenes or just nice touches in the background. Many of the things you can do, however, might not be too obvious. My name is Coming Clean and this will be a quick tutorial on how you can get the most out of flying vehicles in your toy boxes. Contrary to ground vehicles, you can't turn on driving physics for air vehicles when they are attached to paths. That means they follow the path exactly where you put it and at a constant speed. Also, as you can see in this clip, an imaginary line between the two tips of the wings will always be parallel to the ground. Therefore, you can unfortunately not make the air vehicles bank or fly sideways. Sharp turns look the best if the vehicle ascends or descends at the same time. However, you should keep the path smooth and not use too many path points to make the flight paths look more natural. Path points are useful for one purpose though, which brings us to the next topic, that is takeoffs. With the properties of the path point, you can adjust the speed percentage of the objects from that particular path point. This way you can gradually increase the speed of the air vehicle to create a smooth takeoff. In some cases, you may not want the vehicle to orient along the path. By creating a one grid long vertical path along with some other tools, you can make the vehicle hover in the air. Greatly reduce the speed of the path and set the vehicle's style to back and forth. Create a time delay and set it to about 1 second. When the delay is complete, the vehicle will reverse its course along the path. Add another vehicle, a couple of cones, a pair of shield trucks, a bunch of agents, and top it all off with a smoke effect slightly below the ground. Put Nick Fury and Black Widow in the center of it all and you have created a menacing looking shield roadblock. A vertical takeoff uses many of the same techniques. Make sure the vehicle doesn't orient along the path and remember to make it go slower in the beginning. The smoke effect looks great here too. When the flying vehicle path isn't active anymore, the vehicle just falls straight down. This can look a bit awkward even if the path is right on the ground. Landings can therefore be a little bit tricky to pull off. You can, however, adjust the speed of the path point and set it to be really slow, which creates the illusion that the vehicle has landed. This can be useful if you, for example, want the vehicle to drop off some troops and then take to the skies again. You can use a target camera attached to the same path as the vehicle to create some really cool camera angles. Just adjust the camera's forward offset so that it flies in front of the vehicle and set the vehicle to be the camera target. You may have to adjust the vertical offset as well, but you will be rewarded with a scene that looks like it's taken straight out of Top Gun. You get the best view behind the air vehicle if you instead attach a locator to the path and let that be the target of the camera. Make the locator follow the path but adjust its offset so that it is slightly to the side of the vehicle. The air vehicle's forward offset will have to be the same as the locator's. Adjust the vertical offset if needed and try it out. This angle looks really cool during an attack run, which we'll get to in a bit. There's also a neat way to make it appear as if the vehicle is bombarded by anti-air gun fire. Here you can see a path with a vehicle attached to it. Along the path, I've spread out 6 locators that are all pointing to the right of the path. Each locator is connected to an effect generator. Now I'm adding 6 trigger areas on the path next to each locator. When a vehicle enters the area, the corresponding effect generator will play the quick burst explosion effect. To add sound to each blast, I've connected the locator to this sound effect generator. The locator is attached to the path and travels with the same speed as the vehicle. Each time an effect generator is triggered, this small explosion sound will be played. All connections are now made and you can watch as the vehicle narrowly avoids the AA fire. You can of course make the vehicle crash as if it was hit by the gunfire. Attach 3 effect generators to the locator that travels along the path. Make a path point trigger the small explosion sound again, as well as the quick burst explosion from one of the effect generators. Make the other 2 loop the smoldering fire and smoke plume effects. Make sure the style of the locator is set to one-way and stop. Make the last point on the path reset and stop the path for the vehicle, but not the locator. Top it all off with a huge explosion effect and a large explosion sound effect at the point of the crash. In a similar fashion, you can create an afterburner effect. Just make sure to adjust the offset of the locator so that it appears where the vehicle's exhaust is located. Have a certain point on the path trigger the smoldering fire and smoke plume effects when it is reached by the vehicle. Make another connection from the path point to the vehicle and the locator and increase their path speed by 100 to simulate the afterburner's boost. A small explosion sound is a nice finishing touch. You can also make a flying vehicle drop a rocket-propelled bomb. This is similar to a spaceship attack run that I did a guide about a couple of months ago. Make the path of the rocket be triggered by the path point next to it. The rocket is actually just a locator with a subtle fireball effect attached to it. Add a time delayer that after 1 second adds the smoke plume and smoldering fire effects as well as a small explosion sound. Make the time delayer also increase the locator's speed by 100. Use a replayer to remove the target and add an explosion sound and effect to another locator placed on the ground. The rocket will now look like it's propelled away when it's ignited on its way to destroy these stacked boxes. If you apply several of the techniques I've shown, you can make it look like a vehicle was shot down mid-air by another vehicle. The tricky part here is to sync the path of the locator representing the projectile with the target you want to hit. It's definitely worth the effort though, since it lets you create some truly cinematic starfighter engagements. Also, one last tip. Don't forget that you can enter the vehicle and fly them around yourself. You don't even need a path. Thank you very much for watching. This video was a lot of fun to make. I hope you enjoyed it and that it gave you some inspiration you can use in your own toy boxes. I have more Disney Infinity content coming and also several other guides and tutorials on my channel that you of course are very welcome to check out. My name is Coming Clean and I will see you next time. Take care!